So in a huge game last night, USC Trojans, and in fairness to them, they are starting to play a little bit better. They did come out with a huge win against the undefeated Maryland. Win it in a game where, I'm not going to lie, Juju Watkins struggled. Juju Watkins really, really struggled in this game. And the best player on the night, honestly, was probably a player from Maryland. Either way, though, USC, they're starting to play. They're starting to hoop. Obviously, you guys can look at the game like it was a 5-point game, but Maryland were up 7 with 5 minutes to go. And in fairness, Juju Watkins hit a couple of huge shots down the stretch. Kiki Iriafen stepped up. And even after Juju got fouled out with about 2 minutes to go on a charge taken by Cheyenne Sellers, even with Juju Watkins being fouled out of the game, they held on. They really, really did hold on because it is one of those things where it's like, this was a good game from USC, but the best player on the floor for either team was Cheyenne Sellers. Cheyenne Sellers was the player who was guarding Juju Watkins for a lot of the time. And Juju Watkins, 7 of 19, 1 of 5 from 3, 2 assists with 8 turnovers and 5 fouls. Like, she had 13 fouls/turnovers in the game. Cheyenne Sellers had 4 turnovers herself to only 2 assists, but she was 10 of 11 from the free throw line, 8 of 15 from the field with 26. And Cheyenne Sellers is very, very much in the hunt for a top 6 pick. I don't think she's going to go top 5 because I do think the top 5 are, they're not set, obviously, but it's looking likely that the top 5 is going to be, barring trades, number 1, Paige Beckers, number 2, Olivia Moss, number 3, Sonia Citron, number 4, probably Kiki Iriafen, and then number 5, I don't even know who could go number 5, and even if Kiki doesn't go number 4, then Kiki's not dropping past 5. If they want to take Malonga at 4, then Kiki Iriafen at 5, because I don't see the Valkyries taking Malonga at 5. So maybe that would be it. Maybe the Valkyries go and trade if somebody else really wants Malonga at 5. But I'd say the top 5, yes. Let's just say Malonga at 4, Kiki at 5. That's the set top 5 now. I think Cheyenne Sellers is pushing for number 6. I really do. Like, this Maryland team has lost 1 game, and she's also 6'2", plays the 1 at times. The problem is she can't really shoot. I get it. 38.5%. Has her 3-point shoot, does she take that many of them? Because I know she was struggling to shoot a little bit last year, but her defense is unbelievable. And again, she is a big guard. Like, in a lot of mock drafts at one stage, they had her going, say, I think, where did I have her? I had her like 10 in my last mock draft. But there are some mock drafts that thought that she was going to be available in the second round. It is getting close to a 0% chance that Cheyenne Sellers. She's a big guard who is locked down, who can play a bit at the 1, who can be a secondary ball handler. And look, she is by far the best player on a Maryland team who, look, they did go and lose to USC. And I have to say, USC, I'm a little bit more impressed by them. But again, like, Maryland barely beat Iowa. There is a big difference, I fully believe, between a Notre Dame, between South Carolina, maybe without Ashton Watkins injured. With the top 3 teams, I think there's a big gap. I think there's a really big gap, and nobody has a clue about LSU because they haven't played anybody. So it's hard to judge whether or not LSU are good because they've played nobody. They have played absolutely nobody. But a game, again, in 38 minutes, Juju Watkins with 8 turnovers. I would assume she's getting close to, at this point, Caitlin Clark overtaking her, and we can shut up with that record because, let's be honest, like, I rate Juju's defense more than I rate her offense, as I've said. So not more than I rate her offense, but I think she is being talked about solely for her scoring, and I personally think that she's she's not as good a scorer as people say, but I think she's a better defender than people say. Like, I agree with the top 7 or 8 prospect ever. I fully agree with that because she is 6'2". She can score from anywhere. She can play good defense. But yesterday's game was all about Cheyenne Sellers. And if Cheyenne Sellers is not a first round pick, teams are dumb. Like, there is absolutely no way you can see a 6'2" point guard who can score when she wants to and is locked down. There's no way you see that type of player who plays with a ridiculously high motor, who can go coast to coast, who attacks the basket well. There is no way that you see that player and say, this is not a first round pick. But instead, I'm going to take the 5'5" point guard. I'm going to take a Rory Harmon. I'm going to take a Georgia Amor. This is like, these are the modern players and the teams that make smart decisions for modern basketball. Like, for me, Kiki Iriafen is an athlete. Kiki Iriafen, they're a small, she's the small forward height. She's the height of a small forward and plays like a center. I'm sorry, like, I don't see Kiki Iriafen. Like, scouts are so backwards in the WNBA. As we've said with Leonie Fibic is the best example of this, is that like, a lot of people, when it came to Fibic, they were saying, oh, she'd never make it in the WNBA because she's 6'4" and doesn't really post up. The reality is that she was a 6'4" sniper. She's the perfect player. She's one of the best players. She's one of the best. People don't understand it, but like, Phoebe's probably one of the best 20 players in the world. She is. She's one of the best defenders in the league. She's 6'4". She's a sniper. And just because if you put her on a bad team, she'd average 15 a game. She's one of the best 20 players in the league. But Juju Watkins, I still see just an absolute baller there. But I really, really struggled last night. Like, it was the likes of like their young bench players coming in. Kennedy Smith stepped up big time in the fourth quarter. And in fairness, Kiki Iriafen did her job. Did her job with 21 points. Who is, again, like, look, I'm not saying Kiki Iriafen is not a WNBA player or anything, but I just don't, when it comes to Kiki, like, Juju Watkins, if she's going to be elite, she's probably going to be all-stars at rookie level. Like, that is the level of Juju Watkins. But, like, Kiki Iriafen, I just don't like I don't like bigs who refuse, or I don't like small bigs that refuse to shoot the three ball. That's my only problem with her. But anyway, that's pretty much it. That is my opinion on this whole situation. A decent game for Kiki Iriafen. A poor game by her standards for Juju Watkins. But even in a poor game, one of the big things is she still hit a couple of big shots down the clutch. And look, again, whether or not it was a great game for her, doesn't change the fact she's probably, in my opinion, I'd have her third in National Player of the Year rankings. I'd have, as of right now, I'd probably have Hidalgo first, Latson 2, I'd probably go Hidalgo 1, Betts 2, Latson 3, Watkins 4. I'd probably go with that, and maybe like Flaw J at 5. Like, I saw a list where they had Page top 5, and I'm like, no. I would not have that. I would not have Page in the top 5 right now. But yeah, that would be my top 4, and they're probably interchangeable. Other than one of Hidalgo or Betts at 1, then one of Juju or Latson at 3 and 4. That's probably the best thing, the closest thing. But either way, big win for USC, and the fact that they stepped up with Juju struggling and being off the floor at the end is impressive.